OMG, the birds are having a party. I'm coming to the end of my 5 weeks in Italy, where I've been doing some traveling and some work. And as always, whenever I'm on a trip, I try to take some lessons from it that I can translate to my closet or to my personal style. So here in Italy, I've picked up on 4 observations that aren't necessarily specific to Italian style, but just things that I've recognized that I think are part of just the way of life here, and things that I'm like picking up. So I've got 4 little rules. I don't really like rules, but I think these are just ideas that I'm gonna try to keep in mind as I continue to develop my own personal style. So I thought I would share them with you. The first 2 rules are a little bit dichotomous, which I think is like in line with human nature. I think as humans, we are very contradictory, but I saw this specifically here. And the first rule is to try and make everything beautiful, whether it's your outfit, whether it's the space that is your closet that gets you dressed and gets you going in the morning. I love this idea of incorporating beauty as well as function in design. I find especially the more modern and the more contemporary we get, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love contemporary design, but I do think that in an effort to simplify and to be efficient and to be functional, design sometimes lack these just little fundamental flourishes that don't necessarily add to efficiency or functionality, but definitely add to personality and flair and flourish and just making something beautiful to look at. So whether it's your closet and turning it into a space that you find welcoming and joyful, or whether it's an outfit that, you know, even if it's as simple as walking the dog or going to the grocery, finding a way to integrate a little bit of flair and personality into design, I think can not only make the process more joyful, more interesting, and more introspective and less focused on trends and what the external environment is telling you to wear. I think all of those things can encourage shopping your closet and using what you've already got. And I think doing this, seeking to add a little bit of beauty as well as functionality, can also train our mind and train our eye to start seeing the beauty in all things. And I think that's a wonderful skill to have. Now, on the flip side of this, my next rule is to not try so hard. My 3 style words are classic, minimal, and undone. And I always like to keep that undone piece in there to remind me to keep that essence of like nonchalance in my look. And I've realized through being here and observing not just how people hold themselves or dress, but also just how businesses are run and things like that, I think there is this level of effortlessness. And we throw around this term so much when it comes to style. Like, oh, this look is effortless. I want to look effortless. I want to feel effortless. And yes, there are ways that you can style your look so that it feels more effortless. And there are ways that you can put together your outfit so that it feels effortless. Like, you know, like rolling up the sleeves and finding a signature accessory and all these things that I've talked about before. But where I think this true essence of effortlessness comes in is when you have so much confidence in yourself and what you're wearing that it translates into you not trying so hard because you're already very happy and you're already very pleased with what it is you're wearing and you're already fine with how you're presenting yourself to the world. The best example that I can give that made me think of this idea is that there are so many cafes here. Everywhere I've been, every corner, there's a little cafe on the corner, and they're all really fine and they're all really cute and they all serve great coffee. And they don't really seem to care if you come in their establishment or someone else's establishment. They don't really care if you think their coffee is no good. They're happy whether you show up or not. And I think this is the kind of attitude that lends to that effortlessness. It's like, if you're happy with your outfit and you're happy with how you're presenting yourself to the world, then that's all that really matters. It's that sense of self that can really start to translate into a look that feels more effortless. I also like how this translates to style because I find when we turn the focus back inward and focusing on whether we're happy with what we're wearing and whether we're happy with how we're feeling today in our clothes, it puts the pressure off of us trying to feel like we're on trend and trying to feel like we are fitting in. This next one might be a bit controversial and it's very specific to my comfort level and my recent experiences here in Italy. Like, it's very specific. And I don't know what it is about this year. Maybe it's because I'm traveling solo. You know, especially Italian men in the South, they can be very complimentary, you know? They can say, as you're walking by, you know, you'll get like a little ciao bella or ciao amore or ciao tesoro. Or sometimes when they think you're not really looking or paying attention, you'll get like a bellissima. And I'm okay with this because it kind of made me think about the whole idea of how we can appreciate beautiful things or beauty in general, because I know that this kind of walks a fine line between like, when are you feeling objectified and when is it just an appreciation? Everyone has a different threshold here. Everyone has a different comfort level. I remember even like when I would come to Italy in the summers, it was the same thing. So maybe I'm used to it and it doesn't really bother me that much. But all that to say, there's a lesson from everything, okay? So the lesson or the reminder that I had with these experiences was that we can go into boutiques and we can go into markets and things like that, and we can appreciate beautiful garments. But that doesn't mean we have to always take them home with us, especially if these garments are not necessarily our style, especially if they're not within our budget. We can look at a garment, we can appreciate its beauty, we can appreciate its provenance. If you're in like a very high-end fancy boutique with like local designers, it's always really fun to appreciate the beauty and the design and the provenance of fashion and style. But it's not something that we have to own. It's not something that we have to acquire and bring home all the time. I've definitely spoken about this before, about how we can maybe reframe the temptation of shopping or window shopping. You know, we always feel like we have to own something. This is gonna sound so cheesy, but like, we're the thing that makes the garment beautiful in the end, no? I don't know. Sorry if that was too cheesy. I mean, look where I am. How can I not be a cheeseball, okay? All throughout this trip, I've had the opportunity to meet some wonderful people. What I've realized though is that especially in the South, there is a really beautiful focus paid to social time, being social, having fun, enjoying every moment, enjoying every pizza, enjoying every plate of pasta and cheese and whatever it is you're eating, making sure that you get your leisure time in. This message constantly kept popping up over the past 5 weeks. Whether it was my cousin telling me that like, yes, it's entirely normal that you eat a giant plate of pasta after eating like 4 or 5 slices of pizza, you know, like that you're in Italy, this is just what you do. To another family friend saying in Italy, she has to kind of reacclimate herself to being social all the time. She lives in Chicago. So I thought this translated beautifully in the sense that the busier we are, the more ingrained we get in our day-to-day, in our routines, it's very easy for getting dressed to become more of a chore and less of a joy. And this was a really beautiful reminder to inject joy either in my outfits or in the process of getting dressed. Fashion is fun. I hate using the word should, but I think we hold so much pressure on dressing perfectly, on being perfect, and I think it's more about injecting that joy, whether it comes from us, whether it comes from a piece that brings us a little bit of joy, whatever. I just thought that was like a good sort of final reminder that I'm gonna take with me as I head back to Canada. So that is what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a little bit different, but hopefully you enjoyed those lessons. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. If you learned something new or if it just made you think. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. If you like shopping your closet, if you are ready to use more of what you've already got in your closet and kick off the fall season, I would love to have you at my Shop Your Closet event. It's live, it's digital, it's 2 hours of really fun time. I'll leave all the details in the description box below as well as tickets. Have a wonderful rest of your day, a wonderful rest of your week. I hope you are having a wonderful day and I'm so grateful for you being here. Thank you. Ciao.